Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us to learn more about LEAD, the landscape of education in the arts in Duval. I'm Kimberly Hyatt, President and CEO of the Cathedral Arts Project. CAP is a nationally recognized provider of visual and performing arts education for children in Northeast Florida. CAP has been providing quality arts education to the greater Jacksonville community since 1993. And over the almost 3 decades of CAP's operations, we have expanded our programs to include advocacy for arts education. As part of that, in 2013, CAP was honored to be selected by the Kennedy Center as the home of Any Given Child Jacksonville. Any Given Child is a collective impact initiative that unites diverse stakeholders in the community to advocate for equitable access to arts education. Within a year, we hired Allison Galloway Gonzalez to lead that effort. Allison has worked tirelessly and enthusiastically as a member of the CAP team and with local arts and education communities to initiate and facilitate really tremendous growth and awareness for arts education in Jacksonville. And so with that, I'm pleased to turn it over to CAP's Chief Program Officer and the Executive Director of Any Given Child Jacksonville, Allison Galloway Gonzalez.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. Good afternoon, everyone. As we progress through these exciting announcements today, please feel free to submit questions through the Q&A. We'll answer as many of those as we can at the end, and any that we can't get to, we will follow up with you in writing. To set the tone today, in 2009, the Kennedy Center launched Ensuring the Arts for Any Given Child. And in 2013, Jacksonville was selected as the 14th of now 27 AGC cities. It has been a true honor to lead the work of AGC Jacksonville alongside so many dedicated partners, ensuring all children have equitable access to arts learning. I'd like to thank several of those partners who are here with us today to celebrate and who helped bring the LEAD project to life. Dr. Diana Greene, Superintendent of Duval County Public Schools, Laurie Hoppick, Supervisor of the Arts, and so many more from the DCPS team. Karen Fagins and all of the Pnc Bank family for their continued conceptual and financial support of this work. Jeanette McCune and her team from the Kennedy Center, who not only facilitate the entire AGC national network, but who are helping bring this important mapping tool to additional communities. The entire team at Ingenuity Inc. in Chicago, who originated the Artlook map and are helping launch it in Jacksonville and beyond. Kuda Dring from the Cummer Museum of Art and Gardens, a longtime community partner of AGC Jacksonville that shares our commitment to bring more arts opportunities to local students. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Timothy Snyder, Dean of the Linda Berry Stein College of Fine Arts at Jacksonville University and Chair of our AGC Jacksonville Steering Committee.
Thank you, Allison. I'm honored to be here today with all of you to share the meaningful work that has gone into making LEAD a resource for our community. The LEAD Artlook map is an interactive tool that provides a real-time snapshot of arts resources and services per school in Duval County, using data from schools, funders, and cultural service providers such as local museums and arts organizations. This is a cutting-edge tool, and it allows parents, educators, community organizations, and funding partners to easily discover and understand what arts education opportunities are available in the community, and to identify funding and partnership opportunities that will lead to greater support and resources for arts education in the Duval County schools. LEAD and the work of AGC Jacksonville would not be possible without the support of the Kennedy Center, whose outreach programs support efforts like this all over the country. Joining us today from the Kennedy Center is Jeanette McCune.
Thank you so much, Tim. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Jeanette McCune, and I serve as the Director of School and Community Programs for the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. The programs in our portfolio include all of our partnerships serving kindergarten through grade 12, both locally and nationally, including some others you may have heard of: Turnaround Arts, Partners in Education, Changing Education Through the Arts, our deep partnerships in Washington, D.C., where we are located, and of course, Any Given Child. And I think what is critical for us to share is at the heart of our work is the approach that the deep belief that arts education is a civil right and a part of a holistic education for every child. And it is our responsibility to work cooperatively and collaboratively across our communities to support this vision. As Allison shared, we have 27 communities involved with Any Given Child, and they learn from and with one another. Today's launch really reinforces Jacksonville's role within a national conversation about arts equity and access. Jacksonville's a leader among leaders, serving as an influencer and recommender around a collaboration with Ingenuity. In 2018, Kennedy Center had the chance to partner with Ingenuity to work across our Kennedy Center network to implement the process to collect the same data across our network, which is incredibly important, and to engage in a learning process to help us better understand our national story around arts education equity, including what barriers and opportunities exist and how we can create sustainable systemic change. Central to this work is being a community of practice, and we are pleased that 6 of our Any Given Child communities were invited to join this Artlook pilot project, which is a 3-year initiative to gather data to improve access to arts education and to align consistent data collection across those communities for the very purposes of ensuring that all of our stakeholders understand what is happening in our communities and how to better serve this work. Of course, none of this would be possible without the amazing team at Ingenuity who created the original Artlook map. And so now I'm so pleased to pass this along to Stephen Schufelt from Ingenuity to share more about this exciting tool and the journey.
Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Schufelt, Director of Data and Research at Ingenuity. I'm going to do a screen share as I walk through a few things on the Artlook map. But before anything, I want to thank the team at Cathedral Arts Project for inviting us to join this event. We're really excited to be with you today to celebrate the launch of Artlook in Jacksonville. Ingenuity is an arts education advocacy organization in Chicago, similar to the Any Given Child program in the Cathedral Arts Project here in Jacksonville. We created Artlook shortly after our founding in 2011 to help us in our goal of ensuring that every child in every grade in every school in the Chicago Public Schools has access to the arts as part of their education. Our efforts in Chicago led us to organizations like the Cathedral Arts Project who share our commitment to making real sustainable progress in arts education. But organizations like ours cannot achieve this on our own. True arts education progress is not possible without strong partnerships and coordination among the schools, arts organizations, and local government and institutions in our communities. Artlook is specifically designed to help make those connections possible. Before showing you the platform itself, I want to share a short video describing how we think about just how Artlook can help.
Hi, I'm Paul Schneeweiss from Ingenuity. The United States has an enduring national education problem: inequality in our public schools. There's an unequal distribution of money, programs, and resources, most often along racial and socioeconomic lines. 10 years ago in Chicago, local leaders charged Ingenuity with solving one such inequity: student access to arts learning. Through Artlook technology, Ingenuity began to track student access to staffing, instruction, resources, effectively closing an equity gap in the nation's 3rd largest school system. Artlook drove more change in student access to the arts in the past 7 years than the previous 40 combined. The number of schools offering high-quality arts education rose 97%. The district is investing $40 million more annually, and most importantly, 75,000 more students now have access to the arts each year. Artlook gathers data from large districts, their individual schools, as well as any agencies providing services to track what's happening in our schools, and more importantly, what's not. Service agencies now search for schools based on staffing, student demographics, grade levels, location, and more. But this conversation isn't really about the arts. It's about equity for children in need. Imagine now the platform's power and potential being unleashed on literacy, math, science, civics, mental health, and more. Artlook's impact has caught the attention of education leaders across the United States. And through a partnership with the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, Artlook has expanded to 6 more U.S. cities this year. Today, Artlook impacts 1.2 million K-12 students in nearly 2,000 schools across 10 public school systems. Artlook has 8 full years of real-world implementation and experience to stand on. Artlook isn't just an idea, and education inequity is not unsolvable. Let's go solve it.
All right. So if you can hear me again, I want to, great. As you can see, with apologies for the technical difficulty there, as you can see, Artlook can help communities collect, analyze, and disseminate critical information about arts education in their local schools. Platform is fueled by data from school districts, from art teachers, and advocates within schools, and from the arts organizations that work in local schools. As of today, you can reach Artlook Jacksonville at jacksonville.artlookmap.com. And this is what you'll see when you go there. It's early days for Artlook, so what I want to do real quickly is do a walkthrough of what you might see if in the Chicago case. If you were imagine you are an arts organization, a ballet company in particular, looking to partner with a local school. You can start on the Artlook homepage and use the Discipline Interests filter to find any school that has identified ballet as something their students are interested in. Now, suppose I want to limit my search to high schools. Now, CPS has more than 650 schools, and just like that, I've narrowed it down to a much more manageable list of just 14 schools that are good candidates for my program. And I'll note schools can update this list of their interests at any time. So this is the most real, up-to-date information that you can find about how to support students. Artlook is the only platform that is specifically designed to bring together the information that schools and arts organizations need to find one another, establish great partnerships, and bring exciting programs to students around Jacksonville. Before closing, I want to highlight one additional benefit of the platform by showing you one way we've used it at Ingenuity to support our work in Chicago. Every year for the past 7 years, Ingenuity has published an analysis of arts education in our city based almost entirely on data collected through Artlook. Our State of the Arts in Chicago Public Schools report not only highlights the district's successes, but has helped us all identify opportunities for improvement. This is where Artlook's true power lies. Because of its ability to drive change on the ground through school-based arts instructors and program providers, while also providing the information district and arts leaders need to develop arts-positive strategies, Artlook holds the promise to be a great tool to continue advancing arts education in Jacksonville for years to come. Again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be with you here today and to share this exciting moment in Jacksonville schools. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jeanette and Steve. Thank you for walking us through, Steve. It's helpful to see that in real time. It's really inspiring to see how this tool has grown in Chicago. Those 8 years have been really essential to teaching the rest of us how we might progress. The Kennedy Center has helped expand access to this platform and connect other cities with Ingenuity support over the last couple of years. So we in Jacksonville are eager to see our map grow to the same level of data, transparency, and collaboration that you all demonstrated today. And I know we're very eager to work with the district to help provide some of this insight and work with them as a community to build up access to arts education. They have done a tremendous job to date, and we're so excited about moving forward. As a reminder, we welcome you to submit questions in the Q&A, and we'll be answering those at the end. Obviously, as you can tell, I could talk for hours about the capability of this tool and what it might mean, but its real power is how our partners in the community are going to use this platform in their work. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Kuda, Dring, Director of Education at the Cummer Museum of Art and Gardens. Karen Fagins, Vice President, Client and Community Relations Director, Southeast Port Cities for PNC Bank, and Dr. Diana Greene, Superintendent of Duval County Public Schools. Each of them will share their contributions to this project and the benefits that they're eager to realize for Jacksonville. We'll begin with Kim, if you don't mind, Kim.
Thank you so much, Allison. And good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Kim Kuda, Dring, Director of Education at the Cummer Museum of Art and Gardens here in Jacksonville. And education really is at the heart of what we do at the Cummer. In fact, our mission is to engage and inspire through art gardens and education. We fulfill that mission every day through a variety of fun, multi-generational and multi-sensory programs. Those programs range from on-site experiences such as tours, drop-in studio programs, art classes, camps, to professional development sessions with educators and community-based experiences through our Cummer in the Community program. Now you can imagine in this past year, we've done that special word called pivot, as everyone in the world has done, and expanded our virtual programming to make the museum even more accessible for the entire community. So by presenting digital experiences such as gallery tours and at-home art making resources, launching virtual lecture series, hosting digital art talks and classes, all of this is to give our students, their families, and the schools and teachers access to the museum really wherever they are. This provides us with a really great opportunity to make the Cummer Museum an even stronger connector and a quality resource for the community and specifically for its children. For several decades now, we've actively engaged students in the art and gardens of the museum, yet there's so much more we know that we can do to positively impact more children in their schools and then extend those benefits of the arts and museum to students' families as well. So the LEAD Artlook map is exciting, it's timely, and it's an extremely important resource for the Cummer and the entire community. Using it, as Stephen mentioned, we can now search for schools where our visual arts programming can best fulfill an unmet need. For example, as we're planning tours or even professional development sessions for special exhibition topics, such as on photography or sculpture, we can use the map to find the schools who've indicated an interest in this topic or who are seeking professional development and seeking to work with the museum. And then through the map, we can easily contact those teachers and schools and work with them directly to support their needs and the needs of their students. And most importantly, though, this tool provides us the ability to listen to the community, listen to what our school partners are looking for, help uncover gaps in arts access, and make sure that these requests and connections that we previously did not know were possible help to make those connections possible for the community. Thanks, Allison.
Thanks so much, Kim. We're really excited to see how the Cummer will use this tool and all our local arts organizations. We want everyone to be participating and supporting the district and the children in our community. Now I'll hand it off to Karen Fagins from PNC Bank, our foundational local funder.
Thank you, Allison. We are very grateful for your leadership on this initiative. Thanks for all that you do. And thanks to all of the partners on this call and everyone who's made this possible. At PNC, we know the strength of our company is largely dependent upon the strength of the communities where our customers and employees live and work. And that is why PNC Bank and our employees invest our time and energy and resources to support efforts that are going to improve quality of life and bring economic and cultural vitality to the community. So we are particularly grateful to have a longstanding relationship with Any Given Child Jacksonville and to serve as the foundational local funder for LEAD. It made perfect sense for PNC to support this innovative project. The arts are an important part of the culture and growth of Jacksonville, as we all know, and we're always looking for ways to expand access to the arts. We feel this project in particular, the LEAD Artlook map, will have a major impact because of the focus on creating greater equity in arts education. As a philanthropic partner to Any Given Child Jacksonville and to cultural service providers like the Cummer Museum, PNC Bank sees tremendous opportunity in the LEAD Artlook map. This tool allows us to see where there are gaps in arts programming. And with that knowledge, we can provide support to the community and make both an immediate and a long-term impact. Again, it's an honor to be a partner in this effort, and congratulations to all involved.
Thank you so much, Karen. Partnerships like this are really important. The resources that the business community can offer will only strengthen this initiative and broaden the impacts of arts education throughout our schools. And to talk specifically about that is our great partner, Dr. Diana Greene, who will give us a little insight about how we can use this tool to support her efforts and her leadership efforts and the students throughout the county. Dr. Greene?
Thank you, Allison, and thank you all for your interest in and support for arts education in Duval County. We are so excited to engage with the LEAD Artlook map, as it will be an invaluable tool in helping us enhance art education in our schools. I do want to state, we have a very solid foundation with the arts in our schools. Our school board has remained committed to ensure that every school, at the minimum, has an art program and a music program. But this will allow us to expand on how we can serve Team Duval students, teachers, and parents. We all know that art education plays a critical role in the development of children. We are fortunate that multiple community partners have come together to provide this new resource that will lead to increased support for arts education. This map provides a comprehensive way for parents to navigate arts education opportunities in schools and the community. I want to give 3 examples how LEAD Artlook map will support our schools. The first one, this work makes possible the development of connections between our teachers and the community, resulting in new projects and collaborative experiences. Further opportunities like this offer a public audience for our students' creative work and a way to give back to the community at large. As you can see, there are art projects that are on my wall. Every year, these are replaced by student artwork. Our students have an opportunity to participate in murals, public concerts. They participated in the Empty Bowls project with Feeding Northeast Florida. Second, this map can also establish connections between our arts classrooms in need of supplies, equipment, or instruments with community partners looking to directly impact a classroom or a program. Third, it is vitally important for our students to experience the connection of what they are learning in the classroom with real world and career possibilities. This is facilitated by learning from industry experts and artists practicing in the field. That's why I so much appreciate the CAP initiative. This map provides a way to connect professional artists with art classrooms for this very purpose, no matter what school the student attends. Our teachers and administrators are committed to providing excellent educational opportunities for our students, and arts education is no different. We want to do this in every school, in every classroom, for every student, every day. The LEAD Artlook map will only improve our ability to deliver on that promise. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Greene. Your enthusiasm for this project, but for the arts overall, has been greatly appreciated. We have been tracking the progress of this district for some time, and we have made such amazing progress. Your leadership from the moment you walked in the door has been a tremendous asset to those goals, and we are so eager to continue collaborating. One of the main points of AGC Jacksonville is that Dr. Greene, her team, principals, and teachers do not do this work alone. It is our responsibility and as a community to support those goals and efforts. I'd like to close by reiterating the importance of reaching and impacting every child in our community through the arts. The past year has highlighted the varied and vital roles the arts play in our lives, like finding joy in dark times, helping us articulate our experiences, creating real and meaningful connections with our community and beyond. And the arts add up to stronger creative thinking, problem-solving skills, self-confidence, and brighter futures for all of us. We have a few minutes left, and I'm happy to answer some questions for the remaining time. Our first one is around what kind of information we'll be collecting on the map and how we might be using that. The survey that goes out to schools and arts partners is bolstered by some back-end data that we get from the district and from the state. But then the schools and arts organizations add these layers of information, school by school and program by program. Steve, do you want to answer a little bit about some of the richness that those survey results offer you all in Chicago and that we will be seeing as well?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I think we have found that the map, what is publicly presented on the map is a glimpse into what we're collecting, and it really is, the map is designed to serve some of the purposes that we've been talking about helping to make connections. But there is additional richness of data that is in the platform, but isn't always isn't shared on the public-facing map. And that includes information about school budgets for the arts and partner programs, and specific information about some of the dimensions of partner programs and financial incentives that are available through partner programs. And we end up using a lot of that kind of information for individual analyses for arts organizations or for funders or for school district leaders within the city to help in decision making in various ways all throughout the year. And of course, we're always working towards improving and adding to, in strategic ways, the information that we do make available publicly on the map.
Thank you so much, Steve. Our next question is, I'm going to open this up to everyone because it's a nice broad question. How do you envision stakeholders using a tool like Artlook Map here in Jacksonville? I know we answered this a little bit, but if someone else could give some rich examples, that would be helpful.
Allison, I'll go back and add to what I stated during my comments. Our high school students are a wealth of talent that's been untapped. We do an arts gallery every year. Even last year when we were remote, we did our arts gallery through a digital virtual art gallery presentation. And these students are always looking for opportunities to display their talents. They are always looking for opportunities to volunteer. Many of our student artists are going off to college, and part of the Bright Futures is the requirement of volunteer hours. And this is an opportunity if a community partnership is looking for a particular piece of artwork or a group to participate in a mural, they can call on our high schools to find out, oh, do you have any students who would be interested in participating? So that's an example.
That's a great example, Dr. Greene. And we're going to be taking some of this information and working with the arts department as well on their strategic planning for the next couple of years that will fold up under Dr. Greene and her team's 3-year plan that they are working on right now. So I think that's a really important addition. We'll take one more question and I'll just choose this one. So are there any stakeholders that are missing that you would like to engage in this work? That's a great question. Maybe Dr. Snyder?
Yes, I would offer, the higher education communities, post-secondary education community here in Jacksonville. Community, Edward Waters College, UNF, certainly Jacksonville University. I think that a vibrant, arts-rich education for our youngest students, for our high school students, translates into post-secondary education, and that we rely on each other as artists to support each other's work and to lift up our work. So a closer connection between what we're doing at the post-secondary level with CAP with any given child is in our best interests, in the best interests of the wider community.
Thank you, Dr. Snyder. I think we talk as a steering committee about who's missing at the table quite often. And I think we've recently been talking about the technology and STEM professions. We've also been talking about funders, corporations, and we certainly are right on the edge of talking about some of the work that JPEF and 904 Forward have been doing about racial and social equity and inclusion. So we want to make sure those voices are well at the table. I am going to try to squeeze one more question in, and this will be for Steve and for Jeanette as well, perhaps. They're asking specifically about what some of the key findings in Chicago were when they first launched and what we might learn from that.
I think key findings were, first of all, about the degree to which students were already receiving access to arts education in Chicago, and just being able to put a sort of an actual numbers to the intuitions that were widespread about what was and wasn't going on. And sort of I would say the flip side of that is being able to, in a sort of very tangible way, identify the gaps and to make available to the broader arts education community in Chicago, where are there gaps and opportunities for getting students access to more arts education, and where were those efforts going to really yield the most fruit? I think those were probably among the key findings in the early years in Chicago, and frankly continue to be the key things we are working on. It's an ongoing effort.
Jeanette, I know as you were thinking about partnering with Ingenuity, you thought about these things. Anything you want to add there?
Yes, I would just add that, again, it's really around data transparency and moving from assumption to actual knowledge, to being able to think about disaggregated data for our young people that are in different categories. Oftentimes there's a wonderful wealth of data. However, it's not necessarily something that people, if you're not in that particular bank, you'll understand how it works together. And being able to have this really rich repository of data that can be analyzed, disseminated, and understood by a variety of stakeholders to be able to address specifically what your pathway is to supporting that work is really critical. That was a big reason why we wanted to work with Ingenuity. They had such a tremendous process and framework that was in place, and we felt would really support our communities to continuously collect the appropriate data to move their collective impact work forward. So that really was what was our driver.
That certainly resonates with me. Trying to pair the research and the action at the same time is something we're all looking forward to. So I just wanted to end this by saying thank you all so much for being with us. Thank you for the partners here for sharing their time, expertise, and energy towards this very lofty but very achievable goal of helping our students in Duval County. If you all have any further questions after you leave, please feel free to let us know. And if you have any requests for media follow-up, you can send those through our PR agency, Wingard. Thank you so much to them. Thank you to all the panelists. Thank you to the Cathedral Arts folks working behind the scenes today. And I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon.